In a world of distractions, in a world of stress and disasters, how do you maintain a attitude, a inner feeling of peace, well-being, and love? Hello and welcome to Say Yes to You and Why You Don't. For women who are great, it's saying yes to others, and not always as great, it's saying yes to themselves. I am Claudia, mindset and lifestyle coach for women who are great at saying yes to others and ready to start saying yes to themselves. So today, this is our topic. In a world of distractions, in a world of disasters, how do you maintain an attitude of peace, well-being, love, and want to make sure that you take advantage of the meditation that I've put together for stressful times. There is a link here, so do access it. So it's one of the things that I hear people talk about is this idea of I just can't stay at peace, or I can't feel happy or joyful, or I can't manage my anxiety because of all the things going on. I feel like I'm having to really manage to keep up. I'm feeling all of this overwhelm, distractions, bombarded by things coming at me. So if this is what is going on for you and you are struggling to maintain a feeling of peace, well-being, ease, this is for you today. So I know how easy it is to get caught up in the world and all of the headlines and all of the media that is constant and consistent. And if you haven't noticed, the messages are always depressing, dark, stress-inducing, anxiety-inducing, and it's no wonder that you're feeling this way. So what is the antidote so that you can actually feel the kind of peace and joy that you want for your daily life? So one of the things that I encourage my clients to commit to and recommit to is, what is your morning routine? What do you do first thing in the morning? Because think about it, what you do first thing in the morning really sets the tone for your day. So ask yourself, what is your morning routine? Do you wake up to your phone going off? Do you wake up to emails? Do you wake up to social media? Do you wake up to a blaring alarm? What are your morning practices? Because if your morning routine is first thing you hear your phone go off and you turn it on and you check email, and then you go and you check the news. I mean, think about what you are programming into your mind. Because the first thing in the morning, our mind is fresh and it's open to what's the thing that's going to happen today? What's the news? What's going to happen? What is our life going to unfold like in this 24 hours ahead of us? And if you are looking at your phone and it's telling you all the things that have happened in the night and all the things that are planned, the world has planned or it's intending, and you're taking that into your mind, you're taking that into the cells of your body, it's no wonder that you feel like you're on high alert and that you feel like you're at war, because inside it feels that way. You're combating all that you have just said yes to. Think about it. You picked up your phone. You opened your email. You read your social media. You continue to watch it. You just gave your precious resource of time to these outside forces that I don't necessarily believe have your highest good in mind. And so this is a place to start when you start thinking, hey, I'm not as peaceful as I wish I was, and I feel the bombardment of the world and all of these distractions, and I'm struggling to manage my mind and not feel the fear of the world. It starts with you. I talked about this last week, that you want to change the world. You start with yourself. But I would say, if you are feeling that intensity of the world and wondering what can you do to maintain your own inner sense of well-being, truly look at what is the first thing that you do in the morning, because that's the greatest place that you can have choice and impact. And are you running out the door and not, taking all this in like that's your food, right? You're nourishing your body with this. It's not very nourishing. It's like eating, fast food and donuts for breakfast and lunch and then wondering why your body doesn't feel good. Because really, you're giving your mind crack cocaine when you are ingesting all of this first thing in the morning. You're just putting yourself on high alert about what horrible thing is going to happen. And so starting to shift your morning routine can make a huge difference in how you experience the course of your day. If you make an internal decision, I want to feel good, I want to feel peace, I want to feel more sense of I'm okay, I'm not run by stress and adrenaline and anxiety. Start with your morning routine. I know that I read that Arianna Huffington had this decision she made about escorting her phone outside of her bedroom. And I love that, because personally, that is a decision that I have made. My phone is not in my bedroom. There is no device that goes off in my bedroom. And that is something that you can do. You can start to do. You do not have to wake up to your phone. Remember the days when there were alarm clocks. It doesn't have to be your phone. Just because your phone has the ability to be an alarm clock doesn't mean it needs to be your alarm clock. So that can be a very simple place that you can start. Get your phone or iPad or whatever the device is out of your bedroom, and I have bought a battery operated clock next to my bed that goes off, and it has a nice little saying. It says good morning. You can get creative on what it is that wakes you up that is not a device that's going to go off, because think about how tempting it is to pick up that phone if it's next to you with the alarm clock and you think, oh, I'm just going to use it for an alarm clock. Really ask yourself, be honest with yourself. How often do you just use it in that way? Or do you hear the text that goes off, or the sound of the email that goes off, or the sound of the social media that just, posted? Think to yourself how often you're able to just use it as an alarm clock. It is such a gift that you can give yourself to shift up your morning routine. And I would say one simple practice is get your phone out of your room, so it is not a temptation. Because if you've ever gone on a diet or you've ever tried to change how you eat, first thing is if you don't want to eat sweet foods, if you don't want to eat cookies and cakes, you get them out of your house. You don't try to say, oh, it's okay, I'm not going to eat them, because chances are you're going to eat them. It's the same thing with your phone. You think, oh, I'm not going to check text messages. I'm not going to check email. I'm not going to check social media. But there you are doing it. So, one small change that I invite you to make this week, now, get your phone out of your room. And notice how that changes the trajectory of your day. Because here's the thing, you want to set the tone of your day in a way that you want, that puts you in charge. When you're watching a video, listening to somebody else's message about how things are in the world, or the email that came through, or something that didn't go well, you're getting somebody else's message programmed into your mind as to how your day is going to go. That gives them much more power than you have. But when you decide, they don't get to run my day, you're back in charge. And you get to choose the thoughts, the ideas that you start your day with, the creative expression that wants to come through you. Think about the possibilities when you just allow your mind to be fertile and open to what the day has in store for you, as opposed to what somebody else has decided are the priorities of the day. It's like having a boss that you do not agree with running your life. Because if you're not so excited about what the government is doing, or you're not so excited about what your community board or your family or the neighborhood is doing, and you're making that the focus of your morning and your day, you're programming yourself to be in a place that you don't agree with. And the place that you have choice, you are your own employer. You have the choice to decide how your mind operates and guides you through the day. I was talking with a client, and we were talking about how as she's starting to shift her mind and make changes, she's noticing that others around her want to take her into a very negative place because they're complaining or they're focusing on all the things that aren't going right. And she said it's really hard. She doesn't want to judge them, and she doesn't want to make them wrong, but she also doesn't want to get on the bandwagon because that just makes her feel bad, and she's doing her best to not go there. And so she is really practicing saying, I'm just doing my best to focus my mind and not think in that way anymore. And have you noticed when you start focusing on how bad things are, how there are so many people that want to jump on that bandwagon with you? But when you start to consider a different way and you start to think about, okay, I'm going to focus my mind. I'm going to do what Claudia says. I'm going to really look at what I can change, how I can be more creative in my life, how I can start to make different decisions, how I can start to shift my morning practice just by not bringing my phone into my room and see what happens and get curious about that. And then when I'm around other people and they're talking negatively, what is my opportunity to not jump into that? Like, ask yourself, because here's the thing, you become your own detective and your own explorer and seeing how challenging it is. I mean, there was a time in your life, I bet, that your phone did not wake you up, that you didn't use your phone all day long, you didn't walk around with it. There was a time in your life where things were different, and you functioned just fine. The phones are a very new invention, and people using them to the degree that they do is new. So we know you know that your life can function without them. Perhaps you notice when you go on vacation, you don't do any of that and how much better you feel. And when you start to adopt this small practice, you make a huge shift in the trajectory of how your day goes. And here's the thing, you change the course of your life by how you set up your day. And maybe you think, well, that's pretty extreme. But think about it. When you make a shift in a small way in how your morning goes, and that changes how you think about the day, you feel happier. Things don't bother you so much. You're not so irritated. You don't feel so annoyed with people. You're not so judgmental. That shifts how you are in your day. And that has a ripple effect. You keep doing that day after day, life starts to get easier, doesn't feel so stressful. Because here's the thing, there is a phrase, there is a prayer. If you do not know it, it is the Serenity prayer. And it says, God, you can think about it in any way you think about God. The acronym for God for some people is good orderly direction. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. You can't change the world. The courage to change the things I can. You can change yourself. And the wisdom to know the difference. So the more you're willing to practice the wisdom within you of knowing the difference between what you can change and what you can't change, you take your power back. Because if you're putting all of your energy into things that you cannot change, think about it. How happy are you going to feel? How peaceful are you going to feel? How loving are you going to feel? You're actually fanning the flame of anger, resentment, fear. When you do, when you focus on things that you can't change, you strengthen them. You do not diminish them. So my friend, if you want to take your power back, think about what are the things you can change, and have your wisdom, direct your wisdom to that which is the difference of what you can change. You can change your mind. That is where your power is. I mean, this is a very extreme example, but they talk about people who have survived very horrid circumstances, people who have come through the concentration camps who have said the people that survived were those who could manage their mind and could see things rightly. And even in those horrid conditions, could see good in people. It is developing and strengthening the strength within yourself to focus your mind. It's easy to focus on the problems. It's easy to focus on what is wrong. It's not hard. You'll get so many people jumping on that bandwagon. But how happy are you going to feel? How good are you going to feel? How peaceful are you going to feel? You're not. But when you give yourself permission to decide, to have courage, and it takes courage to be willing to manage your mind, because it doesn't necessarily seem like that's what's being supported here. But when you do, watch things shift and change, and really miracles start to happen. You feel happier, you feel lighter, people are kinder to you. Things are offered to you, circumstances come to you, because like attracts like. When you're in a dark, dark place, you attract dark things. When you're in a light place, happy, joyful, you attract circumstances, situation similar to you. And my friend, you get to choose. What do you want? Do you want to feel dark and heavy and angry and fearful? Or do you want to feel at peace? Do you want to feel happy? Do you want to feel joyful? You get to make that choice, regardless of what's going on in the world. And I'd say especially what's going on in the world. Because, again, you and I, our power lies in our mind. So I go back to where we started, which is, what is your morning routine? Simple shifts, changes, change the trajectory of your life. You can only change small things a day at a time. Start with your morning routine. Get your phone out of your room. It is a simple practice. And notice the resistance within you to do it. Maybe you think, oh, I'm going to miss something. I'm going to miss a call. I'm going to miss a message. I won't know. And it's like, I'm going to tell you that the mind is very creative and it fights for your limitations, because the truth is there is nothing that you're going to miss. I have gone through many intense experiences and had my phone out of my room, and it's worked out just fine. I got the information exactly when I needed it. I know it works. It's not a theory. You get to decide, regardless of what's going on in your life or the world, how you want to play it. And so I invite you, my friend, to choose peace, choose joy, choose your own optimal well-being. That is where your power lies. And if this is a challenge for you, do download the meditation that I've put together. It's for these times, these stressful times, to manage your mind. It's a very simple practice, and it will give you some really powerful returns. It's not hard to do. You don't have to be a meditator. It's a guided experience. I am so glad to be with you today. Thank you for tuning in. I am Claudia Braun, mindset lifestyle coach for women. Great saying yes to others, not so great at saying yes to themselves. Thank you for joining Say Yes to You podcast today. And if you're enjoying this, please share it with your friends. I know the power of community and sharing, and let's spread this message so others can know the power that lies within them. Bye for now. I look forward to speaking with you next week. Have a great week.